Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How you're doing, guys? Hope you're good today and I hope you're doing great. So today I want to show you how to make this very beautiful jumpsuit with a collar and a circular flare sleeve. So I already have my fabric folded already, and you can see I had to hold it down because this fabric is quite slippery, and to hold it down with a pin, and I have folded this words into twice. You can see this. So I'm going to start my marking from the unfold parts. So what I did first was to first of all mark 7 inches from the unfold part. There you can see I've already drawn a straight line there. So I really need to apologize because this fabric, I tried so many chalks and it's just from the fabric, so the markings weren't so obvious, but this was the best that could really be show on this chalk. Okay, so please kindly bear with me, but as you go along, I hope you understand. So after the 7 inches, of course, that's the way I'm going to start my drafting from. Okay, on that line. All right, yes. So from that line there, I have to start indicating my shoulder width. Okay, so the shoulder for this person is 60 divided by 2/8. That's exactly what I'm marking down there. Okay, so these are just regular markings that you're quite familiar with. Just marking the shoulder, then taking 1 inches for the slope. So I'm just coming down 1 inches for the slope, indicating the 3 inches mark. Then I'll just go ahead and connect it. Okay, yes. So just in case you can't see it, please kindly follow through what I'm saying so you understand better. So just indicating my slope. You can see I will really put in so much energy, wishing this could really be this more visible. All right, so from my startup point there, all right, I had to now indicate the vertical lines. First was the chest line, and that's at 9 inches. I'm marking that down. Okay, just take note of what I'm saying. Chest line 9 inches. The next was the waist line at 17 inches. Now the next line I drafted was the crotch, so I had to take my tape to the waist point there. So from the waistline I marked the crotch depth. Now I used hip circumference divided by 4. The hip for this person is 41 divided by 4, and that was 10.5, right? And 10.42 rather divided by 4, and that was 10.5. Now I added 2 inches to that, and that's what 12.5, and so that's how I got my crotch depth. So from my waist I marked 12.5 as the crotch depth. Now coming back to the chest line, I'm now fixing the body circumference. Now for this bust of this person is 38 divided by 4, and that was what 9.5. Okay, so I marked that down 9.5. Then I added what extra 3 inches, okay, including ease and of course the seam allowance as well. So I marked 3 inches. Feel free to reduce yours if you don't want it to be so free, right? Yes, so I marked 3 inches extra. Then on the waistline I indicated the waist circumference, and that was what 36. Now 36 divided by 4, and that is 9. I marked that down, and of course I still added what the extra 3 inches. The 3 inches, don't forget, is including what the sewing allowance, right? So from that chest line to the waist, you can see I just connected them together. Now coming down to the next point was supposed to be the hip. So when I was drafting, I didn't indicate the hip line, so this time around I had to now put the hip line. So I just placed my tape at the top and indicated the hip line at 24, right? Okay, so that hip line will also fix what the hip circumference, and which is what 42 divided by 4, right? And that's what 10.5. I indicated that, and of course still added what the extra 3 inches. You can see, so just went ahead to connect the point together. So now from the waist down to what the hip, I'm also going to extend it from the hip what to the crotch, so the same measurement from the hip to the crotch. So I'm supposed to be taking this down all the way to the end of the pants, but I will do that much later, okay, because I need to be sure of the extra inches I'm going to use to create an A-line effect. Okay, yes. So coming back to my crotch depth now, so remember that 7 inches we marked, right? All right, so on that 7 inches line, exactly on the crotch depth, now I am moving out what 3.5. Okay, on that 7 inches line, right, I'm moving out 3.5, and this is happening where on the crotch line. Please just follow through what I'm saying, just in case you can't see the markings. So it is that point now. I will now what mark extra 1 inches from that point of my crotch. You can see I'm marking 1 inches all the way to the very top. You can see. So I'm just tracing that one. So this 1 inches is representing what? The zipper allowance. Okay, both zip and seam allowance, because don't forget we are cutting both front and back together. So after that, now I can now what mark my crotch. You can see that 3.5 we indicated what outside the 7 inches mark. I'm just marking out the crotch depth there. You can see this all the way. Now on that point, now you can see after moving out 3.5, I'm now left with what? 3.5, right? Okay, so this 3.5 is what we're going to use to create what? A V shape, or rather an A line effect. Okay, so you can see from that point of my crotch, I am extending it all the way to the end of my of my outfit. You can see, so this is just going to give us a slanted line. Okay, a slanted line. So this is more like what? The A line effect. Okay, so to make the pants look wide right at the lower part, so you can see. So now I will now go back to the other side. So that's why I have not yet what extended my line to the other side. So remember, it was 3.5 we used to create that A line effect there, right? That same 3.5 I will use on the other side as well. But before that, I have to what? Extend our line what? To the very end. You can see from that our hip line to crotch line, right? You can see I'm extending it down to the end, right? So at that very end now, I will now indicate the 3.5. I hope you understand. So I'm moving out now by 3.5 again, just to make sure that what I have on this side is the same thing what on the other side. I hope you understand. If you don't, please kindly go through it again. Okay, I trust me, you get it right. All right, so see, from that my crotch line there by the side, I am now extending it now to the very end, so that we can have what? That A line effect. Okay, so this is it. This is what we have. So you can see. So by the time we cut this out, you will see it properly. So the next thing I did was just to create what? A cut together pocket. Okay, we'll do this regularly. So this one is just between the waistline and the hip line. I just moved out about 7 inches and made an outer curve. So that's my cut together pocket. Then the next thing I did here was to what? Indicate what? The armhole. Okay, so this is also a regular thing, indicate the armhole, and that was it. All right, so sorry for the chalk not being so visible. So I'm just going ahead to cut. You can see I'm cutting from the fold part. Don't forget there is a zipper space there, a zipper of 1 inches. So I'm maintaining that point there. You can see. Then of course, going to the other side, you can see there's also a cut together pocket. You can see I'm cutting that out. From there, we'll go over upward. Then of course, indicate the armhole, and that was exactly how this went. So you can see this. So this is it. This is how it look. You can see how it looks from the lower part all the way to the top. Okay, so at this point now we can now cut our neckline, but before that I needed to join some piece. So by the time I opened up, so there was a shortage there, so I needed to make up for that shortage inside. So I had to what? Sew a fabric there, just a small fabric, just to make up for the shortage in the length there. So I pinned it down. I'm going to be sewing that much later. So once I pinned it down, then I can now draft what? My neckline. Okay, so for the neckline, having in mind that this is a collar neckline, and don't forget there is already a zipper space of 1 inches there. So it's from that point will now indicate the neck width. So I'm using a neck width of 3 and what? A neck depth of 1. Remember, this is for collar, neck width of 3, neck depth of 1. I'm marking that down. So this one is for the back piece, while for the front I use a neck depth what? Of 3 inches. So I'm also what? Marking that down, so you can see. And that was it. So just went ahead to cut out first. We're cutting out for the back neckline first. just cut that out. You can see like so. And of course that excess is on the armhole, I had to trim that out as well. Then of course you can see the shoulders, I'm also trimming that out. I can see what we have here now. All right, so once we're done with this, I'll just take off one piece, so which is from the one piece to representing the back, so that we can now cut out what for the front neckline. And you can see, so I'm going ahead to cut out for the front neckline, and that was it, guys. So once this is done, we're done with the drafting. The next thing, of course, now is to go ahead what and start what the sewing process. Okay, yes, so at this point I was just cutting off the front um armhole. Okay, yeah, so this is, guys, we're done. You can see what we have here. So the sewing process is quite straightforward. So that zipper space we have, so this is for the front. We're just going to maintain and sew on that line, the 1 inch zipper space. You sew through there and down to the crotch, and that will be it for the front. Okay, it's as easy as that. Why for the back, of course, we are going to what fixing a zipper. Okay, you can decide to fix a zipper, you can decide to make a back slit. This person wanted a zipper. Okay, yeah, so you fix a zipper, but the zipper now is not going to start from the top. Remember, it's going to have a collar, so you have to sew either 0.5 inches or 1 inches away from the neck depth for the back. I hope you understand. You sew your zipper either 0.5 inches or 1 inches away from the neck depth. So I did 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inches away, 1 inch away from the what neck depth of the back. That's why I started what attaching what my zipper. Okay, so that excess is at the top, we are going to what fixing what the collar there, right? Yes, so I just went ahead to sew my zipper. So where my zipper stopped, then from that point I sewed the remaining to the what end of the other crotch there. All right, and that was it. So I went ahead to finish this up, and when I was done, you can see what the front looks like. You can see, went ahead to sew it, and this is it. You can see how the front looks. You can see this all the way, everything is there now. Then for the back, of course, I've also gone ahead what to fix the zipper as well, so you can see. So if you look at this where you could see that what the zipper wasn't sewn from the very top of the neckline. You can see, yeah, so that space we're going to be what attaching our collar with it. All right, yes, so this is it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you use that 1 inches to sew the collar. You can still use your 0.5, and just a little space will be left there, which is not obvious. So this is what we have now all the way. So the next thing, of course, to do was just to join the sides. So the sewing process is actually straightforward. Just place the right side, both the front and the back, align it properly. Now at this point, you go ahead and sew the shoulders. After sewing the shoulders, then you fix the sleeve. So because this video is lengthy, I'm going to be doing another short video for the sleeve. It's a circular flare sleeve. Okay, yes, so I'll fix the sleeve. After fixing the sleeve, then you just go ahead what and join the sides. Now for the side, you just take it from the armhole there, through the pocket, all the way straight down to the end what of your outfit. Then after that, of course, you repeat the same process on the underside. Now the next thing, of course, to do will be what to join the crotch. Just bring the two crotch together like so. Make sure they align properly on that stitch. Then you sew from that point down to the end of your outfit, then start from that same point to the other end. And of course, finally, you go ahead and hem the bottom of your jumpsuit, and of course your outfit will be ready. So once this is done, the next thing, of course, will be to fix the collar. And for the collar, I have several videos on that on this channel. Okay, yes, so I'm not going to do another tutorial on that. So I have several videos on how to fix a collar neckline on this channel. Okay, yes, so that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you find it helpful. Once again, apologies for the chalk not being so visible. Kindly watch it over again. I'm sure you get it right in case you miss it out. Okay, thank you, guys. I will see you on the next one. All right, And thank you so much to all my subscribers. And here it is, guys, we've come to the end. And also, let me also introduce you what to my DTF printing online class is a method of customization. You will see the flyer at the end of this video, so feel free to share this word to a lot of people that will find this helpful. Okay, it's a well detailed class and it's already ongoing, and if you're following me, I'm already giving out some content about this on this channel. See you on the next one. Bye.